This DreamHack podcast was brought to you by myself and Blair. It is now over, Blair. I'm happy to announce that we're ready to get underway and the action's going to kick off super quick on long side. They had good spawns for it and they explode out with some frags. Headshots have been distributed both sides of the coin. KNG now taps himself into 3 brisk USP headshots, and just like that, 2v4, and it's looking great for PLANO, but Taco's just thrown a wrench in the works. He's taken down Henny, and Lato comes out with one of his own. All down to Taco, but he gets nullified, and PLANO take first blood.
I love how that podcast came to an abrupt end and deployed. And in fact, it's going to be Henny who's going to take quite a bit of damage. TRK pushing up with the MP9. The timing of the flashbang wasn't great for him, but Henny's going to swing wide and is going to find a kill as VSM pushes in and a fadeaway, it looked like, onto bottom. He will finally, eventually, actually fade away. Gets a reload in, but the damage has been...
Hoping with bated breath that they get a chance to print more cash. And it's looking like that may very well come to the forefront. SMG, though, does let TRK down. And Henny has to switch to a sidearm, suddenly into a 2v3, but this is where the assault rifles at this kind of a range are going to be at their most deadly. And the rest falls into position. At least it's not a complete clean sweep, and a couple weapons will need to be repurchased, but GODSENT...
Specialists, we don't know, but we do know it's going to be a long take coming in. Now, TRK is trying his best to try and play distraction, but Henny needs to find one, and indeed he will. Now, TRK is going to stick around. No, he's not. Immediately fades back. This is going to be hard. KNG has a lot of shots to hit here.
Oh yeah, target-rich environment. As they look to push out Taco with the first. Need to steer this ship back on course for GODSENT. 30 seconds in which to navigate their way through bullets, through molly smokes. And so far, so good. Taco looking for more. Gone are the days of the scout, now the AK rips through TRK, and the round will follow suit. GODSENT with their first. Into CT spawn, smoked out. This is where that lack of utility that you touched on, Blair, may start to come to the forefront, though, because you've only got an incendiary and a smoke to go, but VSM, big headshot onto Bartin, will keep them away. Even if a post plant comes into position here, then PLANO have weakened and thinned this out enough to feasibly take it down. Lato tries to turn this back around on its head, though, but time is running scarce. It's running thin. TRK hiding in the smoke. Actually can't deny the bomb plant, but it's up close and will be certainly a cat amongst the pigeons. Spray is good, gets shut down from Lato from the backside, and now it's suddenly gone in favor of GODSENT. This round is spiraled out of control. KNG needs the kill, needs it quickly, and he gets it done. And there should be enough time for the defuse, even without the kit. Manages to stick it, and PLANO will take a 4-1 lead.
Hold it down all on his own, but fortunately for him, they look like they're going to be going for an A hit, and KNG is going to be making contact with his AWP.
It's fire, it's flames, and it's flashbangs that make contact with him, though. And in amongst all of that, he can't quite settle himself in time, and also had no help from Long. They did good with the plant. Incendiaries now clearing out. 2 of the 3 remaining players have kits and have some utility that are now tossing towards the side. They're trying to catch them in transition, and so far, it's worked out a charm. 2 kills go the way of PLANO, but now they're being cartwheeled out of position. Henny, with just a measly 15 HP to his name, has to try and somehow clutch with 2 completely separate angles to watch out for. Now, Taco's given his position away, but he hasn't been punished. Henny misses his shots, and with those missed bullets, this should be the round over. Even if he can deal with Taco, he has nowhere near enough time, and he will die to the bomb if he sticks around. So that's why he goes in for the peak, but GODSENT double up to 2.
Potentially should have just gone for the save there, pick up a rifle, and this is just a little rough from PLANO. Great shot from Taco to find VSM there, but VSM could have played that one a little bit more.
Yes, this is an absolute nightmare for the most part. Now, sure, they do have the superior firepower, but it's about getting into these angles first. You know you're going to hemorrhage a lot of damage, potentially casualties as well. Withstanding that from TRK is really important, because it now affords them more luxury to push through tunnels. But look how much of this fuse has already ticked away, has evaporated. Only a third of it remains. And now they're having to push in and not checking all their angles, not doing their due diligence. Phelps is doing so much work with the Glock. Phelps holds it with a Mac 10 and a Glock and just completely destroys GODSENT.
Oh, that's an ace!
Different look from the previous Dust 2 that we casted, and so far it's lived up to that mantle. It has been very entertaining, as is the Brazilian way. And now Dumar's going to try and hold this by himself with the AK. Decent spray transfer. Fairly straightforward frags. They bottleneck themselves in, and Bartin getting the better of KNG. This force buy has not yielded much at all.
As we will have a round which is played out very normally for a change, Vince. It's the guns that are going to come out on top unless Henny does something insane. And even if he does land a couple of headshots, I really do not fancy his chances of turning this round around. So he should be taken down. And for GODSENT, it's about ensuring they don't lose any more players, and they will indeed do so. Just the one casualty there in the form of Bartin. GODSENT here on this map, and this is scary. KNG, he does have backup. He does have TRK right behind him. It's all about timing the Bartin. The timing doesn't really matter. He's just going to crouch peek around the corner. Phelps catches VSM, hugging the door. And the aggression is just fallen flat on its WP, which would be his weapon of choice.
Yeah, this is where that lack of firepower is really a bit of an issue, and why I thought they may very well dip out for another half buy. I know it's a bit of pill to swallow, but this is the reaction. You didn't have the antidote for this venom that is now coursing through your veins, and it's GODSENT. And Leo does get the drop onto multiple players. Is it possible? Is it feasible? No. Lato will put an end to that kill streak, albeit a 2-kill streak, but that's a ton of rounds. Aggression through middle, but they're not pushing it just yet.
We all know how fast Henny can be with the AWP, but Phelps just doesn't give a damn. Just a wide swing out. Leo, what are you doing alone there? He gets caught out, but this is great. VSM helping his teammate out, ensuring the trade doesn't take place as KNG finds Taco on the cross towards Car. Now he's got to retrieve the bomb. Now Dumao at least able to find VSM, bringing it back to a 2v2, but Lato needs to teammate still a distance away. He just has a Molotov, and KNG, he's feeling hungry. He wants to shut this one down. He's peeking in, finds Lato, and he knows where Dumao is coming in from.
You know, Dumao, though, could still put this to bed. First frag, but there is TRK in for Lucas, showing us why. 7-7 the scoreline. You'd have to go back a fair amount of time. It was Phelps obviously playing alongside Henny and Lucas, alongside Showtime and Bolt, if you go back to 2016, of course, for Tempo Storm. So there's a lot of players
again taking control of mid. In the previous round, it was that aggression towards mid and short which worked out in favor of PLANO, but Taco with a nice little flick finding KNG, and they're plucking away these players one by one. And Taco is being quite nifty with the AWP as well, and especially against the likes of KNG and Henny. That's not bad at all. Oh.
Speaking of Henny, head has now been removed. Looking good for GODSENT to lead. No reason to save, of course, but I don't think TRK has many opportunities here. If he looks towards Catwalk, he can easily get picked off from behind. That flick to Phelps' forehead, though, is beautiful, but Lato will make sure that there will be no repeat. And with Leo taking that speculative shot, he's given his spot away. And he will be shut down from the back. So the first half will be 8-7.
Based on what our analyst desk, broke down, if PLANO want to take the series based on a second and third map, they need this Dust 2, right? And it is not going off to a good start here. Phelps, he continues his reign of terror. Vince is going to find two, helped out by Taco, and Taco with a double of his own. And this mid hit has got completely crushed there. Fantastic trades coming out from GODSENT, and they're going to take the pistol. That's 9-7. First half, need to go for the retake. The bomb first needs to be planted. It's a bit of a fake from the tease, and instead they're going to be heading straight towards the A bomb set. And Dumao, he gets a tag. He's not going to go for the repeat. Flashbang for Taco to Pure around the corner, but TRK with 1-2 Deagle headshots, and suddenly the round is turned on its head.
Well, we said it was the deadly duo of Deagles on Dust 2, and so far it's delivering. KNG should have a gimme. Although HE is connected from downtown, now Phelps is putting some bullets behind it. He's been in such good form, you have to tread so carefully around him. He will bite you, but he's only got 3 HP. 1 for each adversary, and he will stumble and fall to Leo's Deagle. Excellent turnaround from PLANO, and now it's GODSENT's turn to feel the economic burn.
Okay, 1-2 2. Oh, that is filth from TRK.
Now from GODSENT, this gives them a lot of information, and they may even get the pick as well, because Henny has no idea what's coming up behind him. Could cut down to timing here, and Henny's missed his shot, and he gets punished. Meanwhile, Phelps over on the B side alongside Barton's going to try and lay down the law, lay down the hammer. Barton's already weakened up a couple players. They run into his crosshair. There's a team kill as TRK shoots Leo in the back. He does at least take Barton out, but now Taco through the smoke nullifies and neutralizes the rest of PLANO. A beautiful round for GODSENT. So quickly, and to make matters worse, the time is starting to run a little bit low, so they may feel compelled to just rush in. They kind of have to at this point. You have to start taking control of the situation. 15 seconds now coming up on the clock. Dumas just has to hold the position. Meanwhile, flashbang is good. The bomb gets spilled down, and it's carnage, it's mayhem and chaos. And GODSENT take it with 4 players remaining.
Massive play from Phelps as well. There are 3 kills.
Seeding PLANO for having these dual AWPs. It's such a good way of neutralizing them, getting that middle control. If you connect middle, you kind of control the entire map. There's going to be aggression. Love this. PLANO mixing up the pace. It's not worked out very well for them, though. A bit disjointed on the attack, and plus they ran into an informed Phelps who was having no mercy for his enemies. 28 kills, pushes the smoke, pushes the bullet in the head of TRK. Henny and Leo at least though hold on. 2-on-2 falls upon the server, and with so much
Smoke from his teammate, that's going to help him out perfectly. Clearing out the close angles. Is he going to get on top of the box? Yes, he is. He doesn't spot anyone else. He knows there has to be one player near the bomb site, but the timing, it could be everything. He's going to find Leo, and now Henny has given away his position, and Dumas uses that opportune moment to peek in and get the kill. A combined HP of 34 is what was remaining on GODSENT, Vince, but they still come out on top. A very, very important round to win.
To get the opening pick on B, that actually baited and waited enough time from PLANO to allow that rotation to come in from Lato. Meanwhile, though, PLANO not too put off by that lack of success in the previous round, get aggressive again, but they run into Barton this time, and his A1S is singing with frags. 2v2 again post-plan, almost identical situation to the last round. This kid from tunnels just yet.
Although, speaking of the flank, Vince, it is still going to take place. They have a lot of utility to use. VSM looks away from the flash, but he spins back right in the nick of time to pluck Taco's head off his shoulders. Henny. Lado seems to be aware of his position, but Henny's not showing anything. He's being very, very patient. Lado sneaking in, looking to find the second player. He knows exactly where Henny is. He's waiting for him to peek. He peeks, but he doesn't quite find the kill. And finally, PLANO, they plug the bleeding.
A side. This is a golden opportunity for PLANO. Can Barton stack up a couple of kills? He's playing in the alcove. This is the kind of position that may go unchecked, and this is because of the lack of utility, and he gets all 3. That's the bomb down as well. If they had just one smoke or one incendiary, I am sure one of those players cuts off the alcove angle. At best case, he gets 1 frag, but because
spot M4A1 as well. A full magazine of M4A1, and he gets 3 kills against 3 AK-47. That is ridiculous from Barton, and he has been magnificent. First, their 1v2 clutch with the USP out, and now the solo. Indeed, it was pretty back and forth in the first half, but GODSENT, they just come alive on the CD side. And I gotta say, I really hope Maui and Davey talk about this mid-aggression from them, right? Getting all that information and how wonderfully it's worked out for them. Of course, the individual skills as well coming out in the form of Phelps. As I say that, though, Taco is being challenged. He's all alone. He needs backup real quickly. Flashbang up top, not able to find anyone. He at least prevents the bomb from getting planted for a while. The flames will finally find him. And now it's 3v3. Phelps being spotted out. They swing wide to get the kill. Bomb still not down yet, but the retake is already on.
It's already on, but Phelps is still alive. He's a snake in the grass. He's coiled up. He's ready to strike. And nobody is able to deal with this threat, and every second that he is here poses an issue, poses a threat. They line up, and Lato sprays them down alongside Phelps, and Barton, who had a stellar last 3 or 4 rounds, closes the deal.
Yeah, and that's the difference, right? Scrimming is great, but playing officials is a whole different ball game altogether. KNG is being hyper aggressive, and he will be punished for that. A quick trade coming in from Lucas, who has now joined the server in lieu of Leo Drunky, if I'm not mistaken here. So favorable trades for both sides. Barton very unlucky not to get that kill onto a player just hopping away. I do believe that was Lucas, but everyone's gathered up together here to smoke. The timing could not have been worse for Barton. And now a 2v3.
Taco and Lato try to bring it together. The Julies, though, rip through Taco, leaving it on Lato. The man who had quite a lot of impact on Dust 2, picks the bomb up and runs away. 55 seconds to play with. And with both players fairly low, Lato, no flashes or smokes to allow him safe passage, but he has at least bypassed the initial confrontation. Does take damage, but still alive to tell the tale. Finishes off VSM. No idea as to where the last player is, and it's actually Lucas who's pretty slow on this possibility that Lucas is coming round from the backside of the T-spawn, but now he spots Lucas, knows exactly where he is. The HP advantage actually falls in the way of GODSENT, and Lato picks off the 1v2.
The wide swing, one tap in the speed. They get the kill, and they immediately fall back. Taco, though, with the Tech 9, so with the MP9 rather, making quite a bit of noise. He's going to check right above, and Lucas, there's a bullet which greets him from below. Taco is just selling this.
I think they're also positioned in spots where they can get a fast flank in as well. I think the idea is not just to win this round, but make sure there's no survivors. Because Demao was just hiding middle, watching for the mid-cross, watching for any players trying to... It's not the end of the world for GODSENT. They're going to be 2-0 to the good. And you were spot on as well, of course. Lucas is now in for Leo Drunky. As we said before, they are playing that rotational 6-player in
the form of KNG. The problem is the utility is just forcing him back, and KNG also has to be paranoid about a potential player sneaking in from mid. Taco, it just jumps above. The flashbang is brilliant, but he won't be able to convert it into a kill, and KNG still holding the line. But look at the utility just being tossed in this direction. There's nothing he can do, Vince, and he's even gonna get hunted down by Phelps. Unstoppable from GODSENT, that hit onto the B bomb site.
Right, the AWPer has to now transition away from there, rush him down, charge him, play. You want to play to your weapons' capabilities at their strong suits and the opposition's negatives. And they're doing such a good job of...
GODSENT, they're going to be funneled back towards B, where 2 make that 3 players line wait.
The grenades are on point again, though. Flash, Molotov. Making sure that B is as derelict as possible of players as they look to try and push in. This time they're pushing through Molotovs, though, and it's the utility of PLANO that's working out to perfection. They have to run across the fire, the flames, and KNG douses them down with his AUG. Spray is good into the head of Barton, and now Dumao has to try and clutch out with his AK. Minimal health becomes 0 health, and PLANO finally get across the finish line at the cost of 2 players. That's forcing them away, but doesn't do that much damage. And considering there's a P250 in the MAC-10, they were certainly hoping that there would be more softened targets on their approach. Flash and Molly is spot on, though, and this trade is going to favor GODSENT. The MAC-10 rips through 3 players in the hands of Barton. 3 headshots, money in the bank. Lucas, they may even think about saving at this point. Their positions are very grim indeed. They were smoked off on the elevators. And Phelps goes in for the peak. His form hasn't dipped at all since that Dust 2 performance. Keep in mind, he hit over 30 frags and then have full crowds in no time. But 5-2, here we go. VSM going to be taking the aggression. We've already seen the GODSENT, who have hit B a lot, are going to mix it up. I was saying before, they may be positioning and trying to pivot PLANO into this false sense of security, and now they've sprung the trap of A, running headfirst at their adversaries, and they are coming out ahead. Leaps and bounds. Post-plant, we'll see PLANO pull the plug. They retreat back.
It's kind of lonely, you know, and I miss fist bumps. It's lonely when you fist bump yourself. It's kind of sad as well. But yeah, just to talk about the round as well, I gotta say this. I have never been very aggressive about it, especially Lucas has taken quite a bit of damage to the Molotov. Nice nade there, dunking down Phelps, but he's still going to be aware of KNG lurking out the edge of the smoke. Now, almost all the CTs are lying in wait here, Vince. But GODSENT, they are so methodical with the way they're clearing out these angles. The flashbang is good. Barton finds one. The self-pop from Phelps, not really looking to take the fight. Immediately swapping the weaponry as well, knowing that he's low on health, using the AWP, as Dumao doesn't get the kill, but it's okay. They get the trade, and TRK will eventually fall to Taco as well. Sure, they lose a couple of players, Vince, but when you're 8-2 up and you have the amount of money they have in the bank, the kill on the first contact, and Taco is single-handedly trying to sell this. That's a beautiful nade, but somehow Taco doesn't take too much damage. His smoke will be deployed. Henny feeling very uncomfortable and then comes into play, and look at the entry from bot, and the flashbang is fantastic as well. VSM will fall. The B bomb site, oh my lord, Vince, they had everyone and it still didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've seen it before, right, Blair? Like, we kind of even called what was going to happen, that the utility would be on point, they'd be able to isolate, divide and conquer the site, and because they gave up the stairs so early, it allows them to get the lineup, it allows them to go in for that pop flash into the explosion, onto the site, and because it's so open area...
He needs to go big. He got the 3K earlier, just a few seconds prior, a minute prior in the previous round. Now, with his weapon of choice, the flashbang, it's good, but Leto, he needs to find one, he needs to find two at least, but no, he won't. Lucas with the double, he's still going to be hunted down by Taco. KNG able to trade with a fantastic wall bang on the Taco, and now leaving Dumao in a 1v3, make that a 1v2. KNG as well on 2 points of health. This is very winnable for Dumao, but first, it needs to be feeling very paranoid that a flank might be taking place.
Timing is of the essence right now. Dumao damage to VSM. The problem there is he wanted to fake as if he was going for a rotation, but he couldn't pick up the bomb. The bomb was too far ahead of the site. It was out in the open. It got spilled down. I think from this shot from KNG. Getting down in B though, maybe the idea here is to fake the B hit. Maybe the idea is to try and draw some grenades out.
Why the hell not? Oh, that's a great flashbang from TRK. The timing could not have been better, and oh no. Lado, he falls to his death, or did he die? Did he nade himself? I'm not sure.
The AK or the M4, he should be fairly straightforward and cannon fodder, but maybe that's the idea. But he has the bomb. Tagged down to 29, but still bridges the gap. That's two huge entries, though. Fakes the bomb. Molotov in. Will stop KNG from pushing onto the site. This will yield a bomb plant, guaranteed. And now with the Molotov, they can start to dip back. There's two players coming around from the backside. Dumao is a bit of a labored spray, but finally gets it done. There's Phelps as well. Point blank range takes off the head. The AWPer is gone. And now Henny, with only 8 ADR going into the last few moments of the round, is going to miss out. And GODSENT somehow clutch a 3 versus 5.
Lado, who fell to an unfortunate death due to a tactical flashbang from TRK on the B bomb site, but they still won the round. And as you said, this round's going to be instrumental, and oh, it's not looking good. Phelps and Barton, 2 quick kills, and Lato, he's going to join the fray. And Lucas is left alone, wondering where it all went wrong. His teammates falling like flies. The flank's already on as well, and it's Taco with the dualies. He hears Lucas with the P250. He knows it's a flank. He wants to land the shot, but Taco tapping away with the dualies is not quite able to find anything, and Lucas will come out on top, but not before he's been tagged on to 34 points of health. He's going to use a smoke, but it's a fake. Now,
1v3, it's such a difficult situation. No disrespect to Lucas, but no player on the planet would be favorite to win in this, not even the greats like Simple. And although he does get a beautiful headshot onto Dumao, it goes the way we expect. GODSENT pick up the second pistol.
Bomb plant, the buy is going to be very grim. They do have Henny with the Mac-10. He's going to be jumping about. He doesn't find anyone, meaning he could drop onto Dumao, the jumping, leaping Mac-10, getting a kill, but the trades from the CTs are so very good, leaving KNG alone in a 1v3 with the Deagle. Almost finds the kill on the Barton, but Barton with the clinical 3K, even retrieving the M4. So yeah, to lose a FAMAS and MP9. Myself and the art of hip-hop a massive disservice. I feel like that there are a lot of artists in that genre who I do respect, some old school guys, you know. We can get back to it later on, because right now, the CD side from GODSENT, it's still looking unassailable here for PLANO. They're getting picked apart. A little bit of a run-by Taco, finding VSM. 40 seconds, Molotov still keeping them at bay, and Taco with his forward position is going to find another one, Vince. It's Lucas, and Taco is not stopping. He's going to just take down everyone so casually. That has to be one of the most casual 4Ks I've seen.
But the context of that play, 14-5, economy in the bin, Phelps on a tear again, and now he's going to be called upon to go ham. Grenades soften up multiple targets. Phelps actually does go down to the hands of VSM, so a decent start for PLANO, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish in these rounds. We've seen so many times they've got the advantage, and it goes nowhere fast. Lucas, though, through the smoke, pierces the kill onto Dumau, and they've actually, Phelps is already on 54 kills collectively in this best of 3. Lato is coming in with a flash alongside him. Big kill, 3-on-3.
Lovely re-aggression there. And again, flashing for your teammates and everything, but they seem to be so much more efficient at it. They rarely go for dry peaks unless their name is Phelps. And a passive pull from Taco here towards the sandbags going to find KNG, who was trying to be a bit of a sneak. And with him getting taken down, suddenly Henny making a lot of noise as well, picked off a bot and a little bit of overkill with that headshot, leaving it all on the VSM. They had a great start to this round, but it looks like it's all going to fall apart. Barton chiming in with 2 kills of his own, and with that 15-5 map and match point for GODSENT.
Have played PLANO off the server. Yes, there was a close first half, but apart from that, it has been smooth sailing. And even then, the first half was 10-5, pardon me. It could have been so much worse. Taco, though, a player that often isn't at the top of the scoreboard, has 20 frags for himself. And he is continuing to just put down the pain and the suffering, and GODSENT take it 16-5.